What if everything you have been told about money is a lie? What if the relentless race to get rich is actually the very thing keeping you poor? This is not just a metaphor. It is the hidden trap that has captured millions of well-meaning, hard-working people. You work harder, you earn more, you buy more, and yet, you feel more stressed, more anxious, and further from freedom than ever before. You are running on a hamster wheel, mistaking movement for progress. You have more money, but you do not have more wealth. You feel trapped, and you are looking for an answer. Good morning, everyone. Today we step into a different kind of reality. We are not here to talk about the next big thing or a get-rich-quick scheme. We are not here to discuss 5 new ways to hustle or how to add another source of income to your already overflowing schedule. We are here to talk about the opposite. We are here to talk about subtraction. We are here to talk about clarity. We are here to talk about freedom. This book is called The Secret to Minimalist Wealth: Why More Money is Not the Answer. For our entire lives, we have been conditioned to believe that the answer to all our problems is always more. More income, more status, more savings, more stuff. We have been taught to chase the rich façade. This includes the cars, the houses, the watches, and the vacations we post online. But this chase has a profound, hidden cost. It clutters our minds. It drains our energy. It keeps us in jobs we hate, to buy things we do not need, to impress people we do not even like. This is the definition of the poor trap. It is a mindset of scarcity, a feeling of being poor that exists even when your bank account is full. Today, we expose that trap for what it is. We are going to dismantle it piece by piece. We are going to redefine what it means to be truly, lastingly rich. This is not a book about being cheap. It is not about depriving yourself. It is about real, sustainable abundance. It is about understanding that true wealth is not the color of the balloon. That is the visible, external markers of success. True wealth is the nitrogen inside. Those are the invisible assets: your time, your focus, your skills, and your peace of mind. A poor person spends their entire life buying new colors to look rich. A rich person, a truly wealthy person, invests in their nitrogen. We are going to show you how to stop spending 100% of your energy on the façade and how to start investing in your freedom. We will learn how to minimalize our thoughts, our relationships, and our desires, so we can maximize our lives. This is not just a financial strategy, it is a life strategy. Because this is serious, let me pause. Before the day rushes in, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, only if you truly enjoy what I am doing here. And in the comments, write your location, your time zone, and the time right now, this morning. Now, open the curtains and let the light in. Pour a glass of water. Maybe brew a coffee or tea. Set your phone to Do Not Disturb and take one deep breath. Let us begin our journey this morning. Chapter 1. The Poor Trap of Chasing Rich. Let us start with a scene, a very common scene. You wake up before the sun, your mind already racing. You check your email. You see the tasks, the problems, the bills. You work all day, you push yourself, you tell yourself you are hustling, you are building, you are climbing. You get a raise, a bonus, a new title. So you upgrade your car, you look at a bigger house, you buy the new watch. You feel a brief flash of success, of arrival, and then, just days later, the anxiety is back. The baseline has shifted. The new car has a new, larger payment. The new house has new, larger taxes. You are not more free. You are more trapped. You just upgraded your cage. This is the poor trap in action. I lived this trap for years. I know this feeling intimately. I grew up with a deep, unspoken fear of scarcity. I did not grow up with a lot of money, and I watched the stress it caused my family. I made a promise to myself. I would not just be successful, I would be seen as successful. I equated wealth with validation. So I ran. I ran as fast as I could away from the feeling of being poor, and I ran directly toward every symbol of being rich. By my late 20s, I had achieved many of the things I thought I wanted. I had the business, the nice apartment, the expensive dinners, the designer clothes. I was the person people looked at and said, "He made it." But inside I was collapsing. I remember one specific night. It was 2 in the morning, or maybe 3 in the morning, I did not know. I was sitting at my desk, staring at a spreadsheet that did not make sense. My heart was pounding from the amount of coffee I had consumed. I had not had a real conversation with a friend in weeks. I was earning more money than I had ever dreamed of, but I was spending it just as fast to maintain this image, this façade of success. I was terrified that if I stopped running, even for a second, the entire thing would crumble, and everyone would see me for what I truly felt I was: a fraud. I was rich on paper, but I was completely, utterly poor in spirit, in time, and in health. That was the moment I realized, this is not success. This is just high-income slavery. This is the trap. Let us define this trap clearly so we can see its gears. The poor trap is a psychological system built on one single false belief: that your external world must validate your internal worth. It starts with the feeling of being poor, which again is not just about money. It is a feeling of inadequacy, of not being enough, of scarcity. To cure this internal feeling, we chase external solutions. We chase money, status, and possessions. We think, if I get that thing, I will feel rich, and the feeling of being poor will go away. But here is the cruel genius of the trap. The trap is not the lack of money. The trap is the relentless pursuit of it without a clear definition of enough. When you get the new car, the dopamine hit lasts for a week. When you get the new house, the satisfaction lasts for maybe 6 months. But the feeling of inadequacy, the core driver, never went away. It just found a new, more expensive target. This is called the hedonic treadmill, or what I call the upgrade cycle. Your desires upgrade faster than your income. Your lifestyle expands to meet, and then exceed, your earnings. The result is that you are never free. You are just a servant to a bigger and bigger pile of stuff. You are not building wealth. You are just managing liabilities. How do you know if you are caught in this trap? It is simple. You can look at your own life right now. First, do you suffer from lifestyle inflation? Do your expenses magically rise every single time you get a raise, leaving you feeling just as broke as before, just with nicer things? That is the trap. Second, is your primary motivation external? Are you buying things based on what others will think, rather than what you truly need or value? Are you scrolling through social media, feeling a sting of envy, and then making a financial goal based on that envy? That is the trap. Third, are you terrified of slowing down? Do you feel a sense of guilt or panic when you are not being productive, even on a weekend, because you fear you will fall behind? This is the burnout culture that the poor trap creates. It convinces you that your value as a human is equal to your economic output. Fourth, and this is the most dangerous one, are you living in golden handcuffs? This is when you earn a high income from a job you dislike or even hate, but you cannot leave. You cannot leave because your entire lifestyle, your mortgage, your car payments, your family's expectations are built around that high income. You have traded your freedom for a high salary. This is the final stage of the poor trap, where you are no longer just a participant. You are its prisoner. This brings us to the most important lesson of this entire chapter. We must redefine our terms. For too long, we have confused being rich with having a lot of money, and being poor with having very little money. This is wrong. These are just temporary financial states. The real definitions are mindsets. Being poor is a mindset of scarcity, even if you have millions. It is the belief that you are not enough and that you need something external to fix you. It is a mindset of clutter, distraction, and comparison. True wealth, the kind we will explore in this book, is also a mindset. It is a mindset of abundance. It is the deep, internal knowledge that you are enough right now, exactly as you are. It is a mindset of clarity, focus, and alignment. The truly wealthy person is not the one with the most money. The truly wealthy person is the one who needs the least. They are the person whose desires are in alignment with their values and who has structured their life to be free from the opinions of others. They are the person who owns their time. In the coming chapters, we are not going to learn how to chase more money. We are going to learn how to escape the trap. We are going to learn how to build true, minimalist wealth. Chapter 2. Money is not the answer. Redefining your wealth. In Chapter 1, we identified the trap. We saw how the relentless chase for the façade of being rich, driven by a deep feeling of being poor, only leads to a more expensive cage. We ended by stating that the truly wealthy person is not the one with the most money, but the one who needs the least. Now we must go deeper. We must perform surgery on the most contaminated word in our vocabulary: wealth. For your entire life, you have been taught a simple equation: money equals wealth. The bigger the number in your bank account, the wealthier you are. This is the great deception. It is the central lie that keeps the poor trap in business. If we are going to escape, we have to destroy this equation. We have to build a new definition from the ground up. Let us start by separating the two terms. First, what is money? Money is a tool. It is a unit of exchange. It is a receipt for value you have provided. It is a number on a screen. Money is external. It is finite. It can be printed, it can be inflated, it can be taken, and it can be lost. Money is what you earn, and it is what you spend. It is the vehicle. So what is wealth? Wealth is not the vehicle. It is the destination. Wealth is internal. It is expansive. It cannot be easily taken away. Wealth is not what you earn. Wealth is what you keep, and what you keep is not just money. True, minimalist wealth is a portfolio of 3 essential assets. Money is only a small part of one of them. If you chase money, you will likely sacrifice these other 3. If you build these 3 pillars of wealth, money will often follow, but even if it does not in large amounts, you will still be wealthy. The first pillar of true wealth is time. This is the most valuable, non-renewable asset you will ever own. You can always get more money. You can never get more time. The poor trap, as we discussed in Chapter 1, is designed to steal your time in exchange for money. The golden handcuffs are the perfect example. You sell the best 5 days of your week for 50 weeks of the year, for 40 years, in exchange for a high salary. You are money rich, but you are time poor. You are, by this definition, not wealthy. A truly wealthy person owns their time. They control their schedule. They decide when they wake up, what they work on, and who they spend their day with. This does not mean they do not work. Often, they work very hard, but they work on their own terms. They have freedom of choice. Ask yourself this: how much does 1 hour of your life cost? The poor trap teaches you to calculate your hourly wage. The wealth mindset asks a different question. How much money would it take for you to buy back 1 hour of your time? How much would you pay to have a free afternoon to read, to walk, to think, or to be with your children? The wealthy person understands that using money to buy back time is the highest form of wealth. You can use money to order groceries instead of spending 2 hours at the store. You can use money to live closer to your work, buying back an hour of commuting time each day. The poor mindset trades time to get money. The wealthy mindset trades money to get time. The second pillar of true wealth is mental wealth. This is your peace of mind. It is the freedom from financial anxiety. It is waking up in the morning and not feeling a knot of dread in your stomach. It is the ability to go through your day without the constant, buzzing distraction of comparison, envy, or financial worry. The poor trap destroys your mental wealth. It keeps you on the hedonic treadmill. Your mind is cluttered with desires for the next thing: the new car, the bigger house, the promotion. You are constantly comparing your life to the edited highlights of someone else's life on social media. This comparison is the thief of joy, and it is the enemy of mental wealth. You are never at peace because you are always measuring, always falling short. True mental wealth is clarity. It is the nitrogen we spoke about in the introduction. It is knowing what is truly important to you. It is a mind that is free from the clutter of possessions and the opinions of others. When you own less stuff, you have fewer things to manage, fewer things to repair, fewer things to insure, and fewer things to worry about. This creates an incredible amount of space in your brain. A poor mindset is crowded, anxious, and distracted. A wealthy mindset is calm, clear, and focused. When you have this mental clarity, you make better decisions. You see opportunities that others miss. You are not reactive, you are purposeful. This peace of mind is priceless. No amount of money can buy it. In fact, more money often complicates it. The third pillar of true wealth is physical wealth. This is your health and your energy. It is the simple, profound wealth of feeling good in your own body. What is the point of having millions of dollars if you do not have the health to enjoy it? What good is a garage full of sports cars if your body is too broken and tired to even get in one? The poor trap demands a sacrifice, and the first thing it takes is your health. It demands that you sit at a desk for 10 hours a day. It demands that you sacrifice sleep to meet a deadline. It floods your body with stress hormones like cortisol, day after day, year after year. It encourages you to eat fast, cheap food, because you have no time. It leaves you so exhausted by the end of the day that the only thing you have energy for is to collapse on the sofa and numb your mind with television. You are trading your health for money, hoping that one day you can use that money to buy your health back. This is a fool's bargain. True physical wealth is energy. It is waking up feeling rested. It is having the vitality to play with your kids, to pursue a hobby, to be present and engaged in your own life. This is another asset that money cannot buy. You cannot purchase the results of good sleep, real food, and consistent movement. You must invest in it daily. So let us build our new definition. Money is just a tool. True wealth is the combination of time, mental peace, and physical health. Now, look at your life through this new lens. Are you truly wealthy? Do you control your time? Do you have peace of mind? Do you feel good in your body? This is why the minimalist approach is so powerful. Minimalism is not about deprivation. It is the intentional alignment of your life with these three pillars of wealth. By needing less money, you immediately buy back your freedom. You break the golden handcuffs. A person who earns $50,000 a year but only needs $30,000 to live is infinitely wealthier than the person who earns $300,000 but needs $350,000 to maintain their image. The first person is free. The second is a slave. The first person owns their time. They have mental peace. They have the space to care for their health. The second person has none of these things. One is wealthy. The other is just rich. This is the secret. Money is not the answer. In fact, more money often just hides the real problem. The answer is to redefine the goal. Stop chasing money. Start building wealth. And the first step to building that wealth, the foundation for everything, is to escape the poor mindset. That is where we go next. Chapter 3. The Poor Mindset. Why you worry about money. In Chapter 1, we identified the trap, the high-income slavery of chasing a rich façade. In Chapter 2, we redefined the goal. True wealth, a portfolio of time, mental peace, and physical health. This leads us to the most important question of all. If we know the trap, and we know the goal, why are we still stuck? Why do we still feel anxious? Why do we still check our bank accounts with a feeling of dread? Why do we still envy the person with the newer car? The answer is because the poor trap is not just an external system. It is powered by an internal operating system. This system is called the poor mindset. This mindset is the ghost in the machine. It is the invisible software that runs in the background of your mind, dictating your every choice, your every reaction, and your every fear. You can have millions of dollars in the bank and still be completely, hopelessly trapped by the poor mindset. You can also have very little money and be completely free of it, living in a state of true wealth. This is why just earning more money will never solve your problems. It is like trying to fix a corrupted operating system by buying a more expensive computer. It will not work. The problem is not the hardware. The problem is the code. In this chapter, we are going to expose that code. We are going to drag the poor mindset out of the shadows and into the light. Because once you see it, you can begin to rewrite it. The poor mindset is built on one single, powerful foundation: scarcity. Scarcity is the belief that there is not enough money, not enough time, not enough opportunity, not enough validation. It is the belief that life is a zero-sum game. If someone else gets a bigger slice of the pie, that must mean there is less for you. This mindset operates from a place of fear, contraction, and protection. The person trapped in the scarcity mindset hoards. They hoard money, not to build freedom, but because they are terrified of losing it. They hoard possessions, thinking the stuff will make them feel secure. They hoard their time, unwilling to be generous, because they feel they are always running out. The opposite of this, the core of the wealth mindset, is abundance. The abundance mindset is the belief that there is more than enough. It is the belief that value is not finite, it is created. It is the belief that opportunity is everywhere. It is the understanding that another person's success does not diminish your own. In fact, it can often amplify it. The abundance mindset sees life as a positive sum game. We are not fighting over one pie. We can work together to bake more pies. The poor mindset fixates on the single, terrifying possibility of failure. The abundance mindset sees failure as simple, necessary feedback on the path to success. So, If scarcity is the foundation, what is the fuel that keeps this toxic mindset running in our daily lives? The fuel is comparison. We are wired for comparison. For thousands of years, we compared ourselves to the people in our small tribe to ensure our survival. But today, that ancient wiring has been hijacked. You are no longer comparing yourself to the 10 people in your village. You are comparing yourself to the curated, filtered, and perfected highlights of 7 billion people delivered to you through a glowing screen. This is the engine of the poor mindset. You scroll through social media. You see a friend's vacation. You see a stranger's new car. You see an influencer's perfect body. And with every scroll, the poor mindset whispers, "You are not enough. You are behind. You are failing. You need that. You must have that." This creates a constant low-grade anxiety. It creates a comparison gap, which is the painful space between your current reality and the life you think you are supposed to have. The poor mindset lives and thrives in this gap. It feeds on your envy. It feeds on your insecurity. This brings us to the primary symptom of the poor mindset, the one we discussed in the original video: mental clutter. A mind trapped in scarcity and fueled by comparison is not a calm, clear, focused mind. It is a cluttered mind. It is a distracted mind. It is what the video called thinking too much. You are not just thinking about your one true goal. You are thinking about 100 different things. You are thinking about your bills. You are thinking about your coworker's promotion. You are thinking about the argument you had yesterday. You are thinking about the vacation you cannot afford. Your brain is like a computer with 50 browser tabs open. It is slow, it is lagging, and it is on the verge of crashing. This mental clutter is why you are not wealthy. It destroys your mental wealth pillar, your peace of mind. It destroys your time pillar, because a cluttered mind cannot be present. It is always lost in the past or anxious about the future. And here is the connection to money. This mental clutter leads directly to greed. Greed is not an inherent character flaw. It is a symptom of a cluttered, anxious mind. When your mind is in a state of panic and scarcity, it cannot distinguish between what it truly values and what it merely wants. It just wants more. Crow was a solution, any solution, to quiet the anxiety. It thinks, if I just had more money, I would feel safe. It believes, if I just bought that one thing, the anxiety would stop. This is the greed the video warned against. It is the desire for 10, 100 things. This is not true desire. It is a panic response. You are trying to fill an internal void with external things. You are trying to solve a psychological problem with a financial solution. And it will never, ever work. So how do you break this cycle? You cannot just decide to be abundant. You cannot just tell yourself to stop comparing. The poor mindset is too deep, too automatic. The first and most powerful step is simply awareness. You must become a detective of your own mind. You must start to observe the mindset in action without judgment. When you are scrolling on your phone and you feel that hot sting of envy, do not push it away. Instead, stop. Observe it. Say to yourself, there it is. That is the poor mindset. That is scarcity. That is comparison. When you receive an unexpected bonus and your very first thought is, what new thing can I buy? Instead of, how can this buy back my time? Stop. Observe. There it is again. The poor mindset. It is trying to spend, not to build freedom. When you find yourself saying, I cannot afford that, practice changing the language. Instead, ask, How can I afford that? Or more importantly, do I truly want to afford that? The first phrase is a statement of scarcity. It is a closed door. The second is a question of abundance. It is an open door. The poor mindset is the real enemy. It is the root cause of the poor trap. It is the scarcity lens that colors your entire world. It is the comparison engine that robs you of your joy. It is the mental clutter that stops you from ever feeling at peace. To change your life, you do not need more money. You need a new operating system. You need to escape the poor mindset. In the next chapter, we will learn the first practical, actionable step to uninstalling this old, corrupted code. We will learn how to minimalist our thoughts. Chapter 4. The Power of Focus. Minimalizing your path to money. In the last chapter, we exposed the enemy. We dragged the poor mindset into the light and saw it for what it is: a corrupted operating system built on scarcity, fueled by comparison, and resulting in a life of mental clutter, anxiety, and greed. We saw a mind with 50 browser tabs open, lagging, slow, and on the verge of crashing. This chapter is the solution. This is the antivirus software. If the problem is clutter, the solution is not more complexity. The solution is not a 17-point plan to get rich or 10 new income streams to manage. The solution is the opposite. It is the most powerful, elegant, and ruthless tool we have. The solution is focus. Focus is the antidote to clutter. It is the practical application of the wealth mindset. It is the art of intentional subtraction. The poor mindset is distracted. It wants 10, 100 things, as the original video warned. The wealth mindset is focused. It wants one essential thing at a time. This is the great secret. Minimalist wealth is not just about owning fewer things. It is about doing fewer things, thinking fewer things, and wanting fewer things. Let us first destroy the myth of productivity that the poor trap sells us. The trap tells you that busy equals productive. It tells you that multitasking is a skill. It glorifies the person who is juggling 10 projects, checking email and meetings, and managing 5 different side hustles. This is a lie. That person is not productive. They are just cluttered. A person who tries to focus on 2 things at once is, in reality, focusing on nothing. They are just switching their attention back and forth very quickly, and with every switch, they pay a tax. They pay a tax in energy, in time, and in mental clarity. That is why, at the end of a 10-hour, busy day, you feel completely exhausted, but have no idea what you actually accomplished. You have been running, but you have not moved forward. This is not how you build wealth. This is just how you burn out. The power of focus is the power of one goal, one priority, one task at a time. When you apply this to your finances, it is the most radical act of rebellion against the poor mindset. Remember, the poor mindset is greedy and anxious. It scatters your energy. It tells you to pay a little bit on your credit card, put a little bit into savings, invest a tiny bit in stocks, and also save up for a vacation, all at the same time. The result? You make almost no progress on anything. You are $50 closer to 10 different goals, which means you are not close to any of them. This reinforces the scarcity belief that it is impossible to get ahead. Minimalizing your path to money means you stop this. You choose one financial goal. This is the most important decision you will make. This one goal must be a true wealth goal, not a fake rich goal. Remember our definition from Chapter 2. Your goal must align with building time, mental peace, or physical health. So, what is a true wealth goal? Pay off all non-mortgage debt is a perfect one. Why? Because debt is a prison. It steals your mental peace every single day. The interest you pay is a tax on your future. By making debt freedom your one goal, you are laser-focused on buying back your mental wealth. Build a 6-month emergency fund is another perfect goal. Why? Because an emergency fund is a freedom fund. It is the buffer between you and chaos. It is the money that says, I can walk away from a toxic job. It is the money that says, a car repair is an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. This goal buys you profound mental peace. Save $10,000 to start a small business so I can quit my job is a powerful wealth goal. It is a direct investment in your time. Now compare these to a poor mindset goal, like save up to buy a new luxury car. What does this goal serve? It does not buy you time. It does not buy you mental peace, in fact. The new monthly payment will destroy it. It does not buy you health. It is a goal built entirely on comparison. It is designed to impress other people. This is not a wealth goal. This is a trap. So, you must choose your one goal. For the next 12 months, what is the one financial move that will truly change your life and build your wealth? Once you have your answer, the next step is elimination. This is where the minimalist mindset becomes your sharpest weapon. You must ruthlessly eliminate every single thing that does not serve that one goal. You stop spreading your money thin. You stop kind of saving and sort of investing. You attack. Every extra dollar you find, every bonus, every tax refund goes directly to that one goal. But it is not just about eliminating financial distractions. You must minimalize your thoughts. This is how you cure the mental clutter. You must starve the poor mindset of its fuel. Remember, its fuel is comparison. So you go on an information diet. You unfollow the social media accounts that make you feel envious. You unsubscribe from the marketing emails that tempt you to buy things you do not need. You stop reading the get-rich-quick articles that scatter your focus. You stop talking about your 10 other someday dreams. You become boring. You become obsessed. You become a minimalist in your mind. When your friends talk about the hot new stock, you smile and say, "That is interesting. I am focused on becoming debt-free right now." When a colleague brags about their new car, you feel nothing, because you know you are buying something they cannot see, your freedom. This is the obsession that the original video mentioned. It is not the scattered, anxious obsession of the poor mindset. It is the calm, intense, powerful focus of the wealth mindset. This is the law of attraction made practical. You are not just wishing for a goal. You are aligning your every thought, your every dollar, and your every action toward it. This is when the magic happens. This is called compounding focus. In the beginning, your progress feels slow. You put your first extra $100 on your debt. It feels like a drop in the ocean. But then you do it again and again. You cut a subscription, that is another $50. You cook at home, that is another $200. Suddenly, you have put $1,000 toward your goal. You see the number move. A new feeling emerges. It is not anxiety. It is not scarcity. It is momentum. This momentum builds confidence. This confidence starts to rewrite the scarcity code in your brain. The old code said, "I am bad with money. I will never get ahead." The new code, written through your actions, says, "I am in control. I am a person who achieves their goals. I am building wealth." This focus is your power. The cluttered mind is a poor mind. The focused mind is a wealthy mind. In this chapter, we have forged our weapon. We have learned to minimalize our thoughts and our actions into one powerful spear. In the next chapter, we are going to aim that spear. We are going to attack the single greatest source of clutter in our physical lives, our stuff. Chapter 5. The Rich Façade. The True Cost of Showing Off. In Chapter 1, we exposed the trap. The exhausting, high-income slavery of chasing an image. In Chapter 2, we redefined the goal. True wealth built on time, mental peace, and physical health. In Chapter 3, we diagnosed the internal disease, the poor mindset, a corrupted code of scarcity and comparison. And in Chapter 4, we forged our internal weapon, the power of minimalist focus, the art of one. Now, we must confront the physical manifestation of the disease. The poor mindset is not just an invisible force. It has a physical body. It has a physical home. That home is your home. It is your closet. It is your garage. It is your driveway. The mental clutter we diagnosed in Chapter 3 always creates physical clutter. This chapter is about attacking that physical clutter. We are going to expose the rich façade for what it truly is, a desperate, expensive, and heavy costume that the poor mindset wears to hide its own insecurity. The original video called this showing off. It is the obsession with the luxury car, the designer watch, the oversized house. It is the need to broadcast a signal to the world that says, I have made it. I am successful. I am rich. But let us ask the question the poor mindset never dares to ask. Why? Why do we buy these things? We do not buy a $5,000 watch to tell time. A $50 watch does that better. We do not buy a $100,000 luxury car just to get from point A to point B. A $20,000 car does that more reliably. We buy them for one reason: validation. We buy them to quiet the voice of the poor mindset. Remember that voice? The one fueled by comparison? The one that whispers, you are not enough. You are behind. We buy these things as armor. We are trying to use an external object to solve an internal problem. We are attempting to buy the validation that we failed to give ourselves. This is the entire business model of the poor trap. It first creates the insecurity through comparison, and then it sells you the cure in the form of a product. It is a cycle of anxiety and consumption. The facade of being rich is a direct symptom of feeling poor. But what is the cost? The poor mindset looks at the price tag and thinks that is the cost. It thinks the car costs $100,000. The wealth mindset, the minimalist mindset, knows the true cost is far higher. The price tag is just the down payment. The true costs are hidden, and they are designed to steal your 3 pillars of true wealth. The first true cost is your time. That $100,000 car does not cost $100,000. What it costs is your life. How many hours of your life did you have to trade to earn that money? If you earn $50 an hour after taxes, that car cost you 2,000 hours of your life. That is 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, for 50 straight weeks. You traded 1 full year of your freedom, 1 year of your one and only life, for a depreciating piece of metal. The poor mindset thinks in dollars. The wealth mindset thinks in units of life energy. When you start to see your purchases this way, the facade loses its power. You look at the luxury watch, and you no longer see a status symbol. You see, 3 weeks of my life I can never get back. You see the oversized house, and you see 30 years of my freedom. Suddenly, the choice becomes very clear. The second true cost is the second price tag of maintenance. The poor trap is deceptive. The purchase is just the hook. The maintenance is the trap. That car? It needs premium fuel. It needs expensive insurance, costing hundreds of dollars every single month. It needs specialized repairs that cost 3 times as much as a regular car. That big house, it needs heating and cooling. It needs property taxes. It needs constant repairs. It needs a lawn to be mowed and a roof to be fixed. It needs to be filled with furniture, which then also needs to be maintained. All your stuff, all the pieces of your rich façade, demand to be fed. They demand more of your money, and therefore, they demand more of your time. This is how the golden handcuffs we spoke of in Chapter 1 get tightened. You are forced to keep working the high-stress job you hate, not to build wealth, but simply to feed the possessions you bought to look wealthy. The façade becomes the prison. The third and most devastating true cost is your mental peace. This is the heaviest price of all. Every single object you own owns a piece of you. It takes up space, not just in your home, but in your mind. Every object in your life is a tiny, constant drain on your mental energy. You have to manage it. You have to clean it. You have to store it. You have to organize it. You have to worry about it. When you leave your expensive car in a parking lot, a piece of your mind stays with it. I hope no one scratches it. When you own a complex portfolio of things, your mind is never at rest. It is cluttered. It is the 50 browser tabs we talked about, but now they are physical. I have to get the watch serviced. I need to clean the garage. The roof is leaking. The suit needs to go to the dry cleaner. Your mental energy, your most precious resource for building real wealth, is being eaten alive by the very things you bought to feel successful. This is the irony. You bought the façade to gain mental peace, to finally feel enough. But the façade itself is the single greatest obstacle to ever achieving it. It is like trying to cure a fever by wrapping yourself in more blankets. This is the game. The rich façade is a trap designed to make you time poor, financially poor through maintenance, and mentally poor through clutter. It is a direct assault on all 3 pillars of true wealth. So what do? We have to see the façade for what it is. It is not wealth. It is a costume. It is a weight. It is a heavy chain masquerading as a gold necklace. The luxury item itself is not the enemy. The attachment to it is. The reason you bought it, the comparison and scarcity, that is the enemy. To break free, you must perform a radical shift in your values. You must stop valuing what things look like and start valuing what they do. Do they buy you time? Do they bring you peace? Do they support your health? If the answer is no, it is not wealth. It is a trap. We have now exposed the internal enemy, the poor mindset, and we have exposed its external armor, the rich façade. We understand the why of our clutter. In the next chapter, we will learn the how. We will take the minimalist weapon of focus and aim it squarely at this façade. It is time to declutter your life. It is time to find the nitrogen within. Chapter 6. Investing in the unseen. You are the nitrogen, not the color. In the last chapter, we stood face to face with the rich façade. We exposed it as a heavy, expensive costume, a physical manifestation of the poor mindset. We calculated its true cost, realizing it does not just demand our money. It demands our life energy, our time, and our mental peace. We ended by asking the most important question: how do we break free? This chapter is the how. This is the practical guide to dismantling the facade. But to do this, we must first embrace a profound shift in our identity. We must learn the lesson of the balloon. The original video told a story, a simple parable that holds the entire secret to minimalist wealth. There was a man selling balloons at a fair. To attract customers, he would occasionally release one. He released a white balloon, and it soared into the sky. He released a red balloon, and it too drifted high above the crowd. He released a yellow balloon, and it followed. A small child stood watching. This child was different from the others, and looked down at their own dark skin. After a long moment, the child walked up to the balloon man and asked a question born from a world that had already taught them about color. The child asked, "Sir, if you released a black balloon, would it also fly?" The balloon man stopped. He looked down at the child, and he smiled. He knew this was not a question about balloons. He said, "It is not the color on the outside that makes it fly. It is what is inside." This chapter is about finally, truly understanding that lesson. The poor mindset is obsessed with color. It spends all of its energy, all of its money, and all of its time painting the outside of the balloon. It wants the shiniest, most expensive, most impressive color. It truly believes that if it can just get the color right, it will finally feel lift. It will finally feel validation. The wealth mindset, the minimalist mindset, does not care about the color. It cares only about the nitrogen. Nitrogen is our word for the unseen. It is the invisible asset. It is the internal value that actually creates lift in your life. The façade is what you show. The nitrogen is what you are. So let us define our terms. If color is the luxury car, the designer watch, and the oversized house, what is nitrogen? Nitrogen is your direct investment in the 3 pillars of true wealth. First, your physical health is nitrogen. Your energy, your vitality, your strength, the food you put into your body. This is the ultimate unseen asset. The poor mindset will spend $500 on a fancy dinner to post on social media, color, but complains about spending $50 on healthy groceries, nitrogen. It will buy a $2,000 suit, color, but will not invest in a $20 gym membership, nitrogen. This is insanity. You cannot build wealth. You cannot enjoy your time. You cannot have mental peace if you are living inside a sick, tired, and weak body. Investing in your health is the most fundamental investment in your lift. Second, your skills and knowledge are nitrogen. Your color is a depreciating asset. The moment you drive that luxury car off the lot, it loses 20% of its value. Your knowledge, however, is an appreciating asset. The more you learn, the more valuable you become. The poor mindset buys the fish. The wealth mindset learns how to fish. You are one single skill away from doubling your income. Your ability to speak, to write, to code, to lead, to negotiate, to solve complex problems. This is nitrogen. This is real wealth. Money is just a byproduct of your ability to provide value. Investing in your skills is investing in your capacity to create lift forever. Third, your mental peace is nitrogen. As we discussed, debt is a prison. An empty, funded emergency fund is freedom. It is the nitrogen of mental peace. It allows you to breathe. It allows you to take risks. It allows you to walk away from a toxic job. So how do we stop investing in color and start investing in nitrogen? This is the practical part. This is not just theory. This is the great decluttering. The goal of minimalism is not deprivation. It is not about living in a cold, empty room. The goal of minimalism is alignment. It is the ruthless, intentional alignment of your physical world with your internal values. Here is your two-step plan. Step 1. You must stop the bleeding. You must stop acquiring more color. For the next 30 days, I challenge you to a purchasing pause. You are not allowed to buy anything that is not an absolute essential, like groceries or medicine. No clothes, no gadgets, no subscriptions, no little treats. For 30 days, you will just stop. This will do two things. It will break the psychological habit of consumption, and it will show you just how much color you were buying on autopilot. Step 2. You must liquidate the façade. This is the audit. You must go through your home, room by room, closet by closet, and pick up every single object you own. You must become a ruthless investor of your own life. For every object, you will ask two questions. Question 1. Is this nitrogen or color? Does this object actively support my health, my knowledge, or my mental peace? Is this a tool I use, or is it just a trophy I polish? Your running shoes are nitrogen. The unworn, expensive shoes in the back of your closet are color. The book that taught you a new skill is nitrogen. The coffee table book you never open is color. Question 2. Does this object serve my one true goal? Remember in Chapter 4, we forged our one goal. Whether it was pay off debt or build an emergency fund. You must look at an object and ask, is this object more valuable than my freedom? Is this color on my shelf more valuable than the nitrogen of my mental peace? The answer, almost every time, will be no. So you sell it. You liquidate the color. You sell the clothes, the extra furniture, the electronics, the designer bag. You convert your past mistakes into future fuel. This is the most magical, transformative part of the entire process. You will find that this has two profound effects. First, you will feel an immediate lightness. With every bag of color that leaves your home, you will feel the mental clutter we spoke of in Chapter 5 disappearing. You did not just own your stuff owned you. By letting it go, you are taking back your mental energy. You are closing the 50 open browser tabs. You are creating space for your mind to breathe. Second, you will have capital. You will have a pile of money that was trapped in the form of useless color. This is the moment of choice. The poor mindset would take that money and go buy new color. This is the cycle of the trap. But you will not, because you are a wealth builder. You will take this capital, this fuel, and you will buy nitrogen. You take the $500 you made from selling your color, and you put it all toward your one goal. You buy your freedom. You pay down your debt, which buys mental peace. You fund your emergency fund, which buys mental peace. You take the $200 you made and you buy a course on public speaking. You buy books on finance. You invest in your skills. You take the $100 you made and you buy a year-long membership to a gym. You buy a consultation with a nutritionist. You invest in your health. This is the exchange. This is the secret. You are trading the illusion of wealth for real wealth. You are trading the heavy, depreciating color for light, appreciating nitrogen. When you do this, your identity shifts. You are no longer a consumer. You are an investor. You are no longer investing in things that lose value. You are investing in things that gain value. You stop trying to look rich. You start the process of being wealthy. And here is the final secret. When you are full of nitrogen, when you are healthy, skilled, resilient, and focused, the need for color simply disappears. The validation you were desperately trying to buy from the outside is now generated from the inside. You no longer need the façade because you have built the foundation. You do not need the expensive color of the balloon. You are the nitrogen. You are the lift. We have now cleared our minds, and we have cleared our homes. We are focused. We slight. Now, we must apply this minimalist rigor to our most valuable, most finite, and most abused asset of all. The one thing we can never, ever get back. It is time to talk about your time. Chapter 7. Time is money. Minimalizing relationships to get time rich. In the last 6 chapters, we have been on a revolutionary journey. We tore down the illusion of high-income slavery. We redefined our goal, forging our new definition of wealth from the 3 pillars: time, mental peace, and physical health. We diagnosed the internal disease, the poor mindset, and forged our weapon against it: minimalist focus. We confronted the heavy external costume, the rich façade, and we learned how to liquidate it. We learned the lesson of the balloon: to stop investing in color and start investing our lives in the nitrogen of our health, our skills, and our peace. We have cleared our minds. We have cleared our homes. We are focused. We are light. Now we must apply this minimalist rigor to the first, the most precious, and the most finite pillar of all: your time. We have all heard the saying, time is money. This is the first lie. It is a dangerous lie, a lie invented by the poor mindset to make you trade your most valuable asset for your least valuable one. Let me be clear. Time is not money. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. If you lose $100,000, you can earn it back. You can work, you can invest, you can rebuild, and you can have $100,000 again. But if you lose 100,000 hours, if you waste 1,000 days, if you lose 1 year of your one precious, unrepeatable life, it is gone forever. You can never get it back. You cannot earn more time. You cannot buy more time. The wealth mindset understands this. The wealth mindset does not believe time is money. The wealth mindset believes time creates money. Time is the raw material. Time is the soil. Money is just the fruit, one of many, that can grow from it. From that same soil, you can also grow health, or knowledge, or relationships, or peace. The poor mindset is therefore time poor. It is time poor before it is money poor. It treats its time as a cheap, infinite commodity. It gives it away for free to anyone who asks. It trades it for cheap entertainment. It scrolls it away, minutes and hours at a time, getting nothing in return. If you are going to be wealthy in the way we have defined it, you must first become time rich, and to do that, you must apply the minimalist audit, the same ruthless audit we applied to our possessions, to your relationships. In the original video, the creator spoke of minimalizing your relationships. This is a concept that makes most people uncomfortable. It sounds cold. It sounds selfish. It sounds like cutting off your friends and family. It is none of those things. Minimalizing your relationships is not about becoming a hermit. It is not about abandoning the people you love. In fact, it is the exact opposite. It is about finally having the time, the energy, and the presence to give the people you love the attention they actually deserve. It is about applying the nitrogen or color test to your social life. For 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, your time is being stolen. It is being stolen by people, by obligations, and by expectations that add no value to your life. They are the color of your social world. They look good on the surface, but they are hollow. These are what we call time vampires. A time vampire is any person or obligation that drains your energy and gives nothing back. They are the equivalent of the designer suit in your closet that you never wear, but must constantly dry clean and maintain. A time vampire is the friend who only calls to complain, leaving you feeling exhausted after every conversation. A time vampire is the networking event filled with people trading business cards, where no one is actually listening, an event you go to purely out of color obligation. A time vampire is the committee meeting you sit in every week that could have been a one-sentence email. A time vampire is the endless social media scroll, watching the color of other people's lives while your own nitrogen decays. The poor mindset says yes to all of this. Why? Because of scarcity. It is afraid to say no. It is afraid of missing out. It is afraid of what people will think. It is afraid of being disliked. This fear, this scarcity, keeps it time poor forever. The wealth mindset, the minimalist mindset, is not afraid. It is not scarce. It is focused. It has a one true goal, and it protects the time needed to achieve it with ruthless intention. To become time rich, you must do two things. First, you must learn to use the most powerful tool of time management in existence. This tool is a complete two-letter word. No. You must learn to say a polite, firm, and guilt-free no to the time vampires. No, I am sorry, I cannot make it to that event. No, I do not have the mental energy for a conversation like that right now. No, I must decline that meeting request, as I am focusing on my primary project. Every no you say to a color obligation is a yes you give to a nitrogen investment. Every no to a time vampire is a yes to your one true goal. No is not a word of rejection. No is a word of protection. It is the boundary you build around your most sacred asset. It is the fence you build around the soil of your time, so you can choose what grows there. Second, you must curate your circle. This is the social decluttering. It is not about ghosting people or burning bridges. It is about reallocating your investment. You will identify your nitrogen relationships. These are the relationships that align with your true wealth. They give you energy. They challenge you. They support you. They are your true family, your loyal friends, your inspiring mentors. They are the people you can sit with in comfortable silence. They are the people who, after you spend 1 hour with them, you leave feeling better about yourself and your life, not worse. These are your true assets. The minimalist strategy is simple. You will stop investing your precious, finite hours in your color relationships, and you will double down on your nitrogen relationships. You will take the 3 hours you saved from that useless networking event, and you will spend it playing on the floor with your children. You will take the hour you saved from that complaining phone call, and you will use it to call your parents. You will take the 30 minutes you saved from scrolling social media, and you will use it to read a book that teaches you a new skill. And most importantly, you will reallocate a massive portion of that recovered time to the most important nitrogen relationship of all, the one you have with yourself. This is the power of solitude. The poor mindset is terrified of being alone. It needs constant distraction, constant noise, constant color. The wealth mindset craves solitude. It understands that solitude is not emptiness. Solitude is space. It is the space to think. It is the space to plan. It is the space to build your nitrogen. It is the space to hear your own voice. When you become time rich, you are no longer busy. Busy is a word for the time poor. It is a brag that really means, I have no control over my life. When you are time-rich, you are focused, you are present. When you are at work, you are fully at work. When you are with your family, you are fully with your family, not checking your phone. You have the time to invest in your health. You have the time to invest in your skills. You have the time to simply sit and breathe and enjoy the mental peace you have created. You have now reclaimed your mind, your home, and your time. You are focused. You are light. You are present. You have become the ultimate minimalist investor. Now, with this clear mind, this decluttered space, and this new abundance of time, we must turn to the final step. How does this new, minimalist life directly impact the flow of money itself? It is time to look at your bank account. Chapter 8. How Minimalism Impacts Your Money Flow. Welcome back. In our journey together, we have achieved a revolution. We have gone from being high-income slaves, trapped in a cycle of earning and spending, to becoming time-rich investors. We have redefined our life's goal, shifting it from the hollow pursuit of more to the solid pursuit of true wealth, time, mental peace, and physical health. We have diagnosed the internal disease, the poor mindset, with its symptoms of distraction, scarcity, and fear. We forged our cure, the one true goal, our minimalist focus. We confronted the external costume, the rich façade, and we found the courage to liquidate it. We traded our color for nitrogen, investing in our health, our skills, and our peace. And in the last chapter, we reclaimed the most valuable, finite asset of all, our time. We learned to say no to the time vampires, to say yes to ourselves. We have reclaimed our minds. We have reclaimed our homes. We have reclaimed our time. We are focused. We are light. We are present. At the end of our last chapter, I said it was time to look at your bank account. This is the chapter where the abstract becomes concrete. This is where the philosophy of minimalism becomes a financial strategy. Many people think minimalism is about deprivation. They think it is about having less money. I am going to show you why minimalism is the single most powerful strategy in the world for having more money. Not just more money, but more control over your money than you have ever thought possible. We are not going to talk about complex budgeting spreadsheets. We are not going to talk about stock market charts. We are going to talk about something much simpler. We are going to talk about your money flow. Every financial life on earth, from the poorest person to the richest corporation, is defined by two simple things: cash inflow and cash outflow. Inflow is the money that comes in. Your salary, your business revenue, your investment returns. Outflow is the money that goes out. Your rent, your car payment, your food, your clothes, your debt. That is it. Your entire financial story is written in the relationship between these two flows. The poor mindset has a very specific, very painful flow. The inflow is stagnant. It is fixed. It is the paycheck. The outflow, however, is chaotic. It is high. It is emotional. It is driven by the rich façade, by color, by the need for validation. In the poor mindset, inflow equals outflow. Or worse, outflow is more than inflow, which creates debt. This is the definition of the trap. This is paycheck to paycheck slavery. There is no space. There is no freedom. There is no mental peace. Minimalism, as a financial strategy, does not just try to fix one of these problems. It attacks both of them. It is a two-part strategy. One part defense, one part offense. Let us begin with Part 1, the defense. Minimalism immediately and automatically decreases your cash outflow. This is the most obvious, most immediate financial win you will experience. The moment you embraced the minimalist mindset, you stopped the bleeding. Think back to Chapter 5, the rich façade, the $2,000 suit, the $500 dinner, the $70,000 car, the closet full of color you never wear. Where did that come from? It came from your cash outflow. It was your money, your life energy, leaking out of your bank account every single day. The poor mindset tries to control this outflow with a budget. A budget is a document of self-deprivation. It is a list of all the things you cannot do. It is a daily fight against your own desires. It is miserable, and it is why 99% of budgets fail. Minimalism is not a budget. Minimalism is a cure. A budget is the poor mindset's tool. It tries to manage the desire for color. Minimalism is the wealth mindset's tool. It eliminates the desire for color. When you have a one true goal, forged in Chapter 4, you no longer want the color. When your goal is, I will be debt-free, that designer watch is no longer a status symbol. It is an obstacle. It is a 50-pound weight you are being asked to strap to your back while you try to climb out of a hole. When your goal is, I will have 6 months of living expenses in the bank, that expensive car payment is no longer a source of pride. It is a thief that is stealing your mental peace. You do not need a budget to tell you no. Your focus tells you no, and just like that, your cash outflow plummets. You stop the impulse purchases. You stop the validation spending. You stop the c'est soi. You stop trading your money for things that do not align with your one true goal. This is the defensive win. For the first time, you will look at your bank account at the end of the month, and you will see a surplus. You will see money that is left over. This surplus is the seed of your new wealth. It is the raw material for your freedom. But minimalism does not stop there. If it only played defense, it would just be a strategy for saving. Minimalism is a strategy for winning. This brings us to Part 2, the offense. Minimalism actively and strategically increases your cash inflow. This is the part that most people miss. They see the empty rooms and they think poverty. They do not see the focused mind and the strategic action. How does minimalism increase your income? It does it by using the assets we have already reclaimed. Remember in Chapter 7, we became time rich. We learned to say no to the time vampires. We recovered hours from our day, hours that were previously lost to complaining friends, useless meetings, and mindless scrolling. Remember in Chapter 6, we liquidated our color? We sold the junk, the clutter, the façade, and we turned it into capital. The minimalist investor, the wealth builder, takes that reclaimed time and that reclaimed capital and buys one thing: nitrogen. And what is nitrogen? It is your health. It is your peace. And most of all, it is your skills. This is the offensive engine of minimalist wealth. You take the 10 hours a week you are no longer wasting on social media and you use it to learn a new skill. You take the $500 you made from selling your old color and you buy a course. You learn to code. You learn to speak publicly. You learn to negotiate. You learn to write effectively. You learn to lead a team. You learn how to use artificial intelligence. You learn a skill that the marketplace values. While the poor mindset is busy watching television, you are rebuilding your mind. You are sharpening your axe. And what happens when you have more nitrogen? When you are healthier, more energetic, and more skilled than everyone around you? Your value explodes. You are no longer just a replaceable cog in the machine. You are a problem solver. You are a leader. You are an asset. This is how you break free from high-income slavery. You do not just work harder, you work smarter. You become better. You walk into your boss's office, not with a complaint, but with a portfolio of your new value. You show them the problems you have solved. You show them the skills you have built. And you ask for the raise. You demand the promotion. Or you take your new skill and you start your own business. You create your own inflow. You are no longer dependent on a single paycheck. This is the offense. Your cash inflow, which was once stagnant, is now dynamic. It is tied directly to your personal growth. The more nitrogen you build, the more your income grows. Now, let us put the two pieces together. Your cash outflow is low, controlled, and intentional. Your cash inflow is high, dynamic, and growing. What is the result? What do you call the space between a high income and a low, intentional outflow? We call it the margin. The margin, that gap between what you earn and what you spend, is the most important number in your financial life. The poor mindset has zero margin. The minimalist wealth mindset has a massive margin. This margin is your power. This margin is your freedom. This margin is your mental peace made tangible. With this margin, you are no longer a slave. You are an investor. You take that margin and you buy your freedom. You pay off your debt. You build your 6-month emergency fund. And once that is done, you use that margin to build automated passive wealth, which we will talk about later. This is the financial power of minimalism. It is not about deprivation. It is the most logical, most effective, and most powerful system for building real, sustainable wealth. You have stopped the bleeding. You have increased your power. You have created a margin. You are no longer a slave to money. You have become its master. You have now fixed your relationship with your mind, your things, your time, and your money. There is only one question left. The most important question of all: why? Why are we doing this? Why are we building this wealth, this freedom, this power? Is it just for us? The poor mindset says yes. It is a mindset of scarcity, of me. The wealth mindset says no. The ultimate expression of wealth is not what you can keep. It is what you can give. It is time to talk about giving back. Chapter 9. Rich and Poor in Spirit. The philosophy of giving back. We have arrived. We stand at a new beginning. In the last chapter, we took control of our financial lives. We stopped the bleeding, the chaotic cash outflow driven by the rich façade. We went on the offense, increasing our cash inflow by investing our reclaimed time and capital into our nitrogen, our skills. We created the margin. This margin, this beautiful, powerful space between what we earn and what we spend, is the tangible proof of our transformation. It is our freedom, held in our hands. It is our mental peace, visible in our bank account. We are no longer slaves to money. We have become its master. But at the end of that chapter, we asked the most important question of all. The one question that separates a how-to guide from a why-to philosophy. Why? Why did we do all this? Why did we endure the discomfort of change? Why did we face the poor mindset? Why did we declutter our homes and our lives? Why did we build this margin, this power, this freedom? Is it just for us? Is the goal simply to sit on a pile of money in an empty room with a clear schedule all alone? The poor mindset says yes. The poor mindset is, at its core, a mindset of scarcity. It is a philosophy of me. It is a black hole. It believes that the world is a place of finite resources, and the goal is to get yours. It believes that if you have something, it means someone else does not. To the poor mindset, even a massive surplus is not enough. It must be hoarded. It must be protected. It is driven by the fear that it will all be taken away. This is the final, most subtle trap. To build a life of freedom, only to remain a prisoner of the fear of losing it. This is not wealth. This is just high-income poverty in a minimalist disguise. Today, in this chapter, we destroy that final fear. We embrace the philosophy that turns wealth into meaning. We are going to talk about the philosophy of giving back. In the original video that inspired this journey, the creator spoke of a plan to give back to life. He spoke of this as a debt that we owe. We owe a debt to our parents, to the universe, to the very air we breathe. This is a beautiful sentiment, but it comes from a place of obligation. I want to reframe this idea. I want to take it from the world of the poor mindset, debt, obligation, scarcity, and bring it into the world of the wealth mindset, abundance, opportunity, flow. You are not in debt to the world. You are a part of the world's abundance. The poor mindset sees giving as a cost. It is a transaction. It thinks, if I give this $5, I will have $5 less. What do I get in return? It is a mindset of scarcity. It is poor in spirit. Even when it gives, it does so out of guilt or social pressure, and it secretly expects something back. The wealth mindset, the rich soul, sees giving as an expression. It is not a cost. It is the ultimate proof of abundance. Giving is the final, joyful act of a truly wealthy person. It is the definitive statement that you have more than enough. You have a surplus. You are not a black hole. You are a fountain. Hoarding your margin is a declaration of fear. Circulating your margin is a declaration of wealth. Wealth is not a stagnant pool. It is a flowing river. The act of giving is what keeps the river moving. It is the final victory over the poor mindset. It is the act that permanently banishes the fear of not enough and solidifies your new identity as a person of more than enough. This is the why. We built this freedom not just to have it, but to use it. We built this power not just to hold it, but to share it. So how do we do this? What does a minimalist plan to give back look like? It is not just about writing a check. The poor mindset thinks giving is only about money, because money is the only thing it values. The wealth mindset knows that we have cultivated far more valuable assets than just money. We give from all three of our pillars. First, you give your time. This is your most precious, non-renewable asset, the one we fought so hard to reclaim in Chapter 7. You can give this time to your family. You can be fully present with your children, not checking your phone, giving them the nitrogen of your complete attention. You can give this time to your community. You can volunteer for a cause you believe in. You can give this time to one single person. You can mentor someone. You can find someone who is on the same journey you were on, lost in the high-income slave trap, and you can show them the way out. Giving your time is the most profound gift because it is the one thing you can never get back. Second, you give your knowledge. This is the nitrogen we built in Chapter 6. You took your reclaimed time and capital, and you invested it in your skills. You learned to code, to speak, to lead. Now you give that knowledge. You teach. You share. You write. You create. The very video that this entire audiobook is based on was an act of giving knowledge. The creator was sharing his nitrogen, his personal journey, to help others. This is why it was so powerful. When you teach what you know, you do two things. You solidify it for yourself, and you create lift for someone else. Third, you give your presence. This is the focus we forged in Chapter 4. In a world of distraction, the greatest gift you can give another human being is your undivided attention. To listen, to truly hear someone, to sit with a friend in pain and not try to fix them, but to simply be there. This is an act of profound generosity. It is the ultimate nitrogen relationship. Finally, you give your money. This is the margin we built in Chapter 8. Because you have eliminated the color from your life, because your cash outflow is low and intentional, you now have a surplus. You have power. You can direct this power. You give not from a place of guilt, but from a place of strategy and joy. You find a cause that aligns with your one true goal, with your deepest values, and you fund it. You are not donating. You are investing in the world you want to live in. This is the true meaning of rich in spirit. It is the final piece of the puzzle. The poor mindset is a cycle of taking. It is trapped in scarcity, forever trying to fill a void. The wealth mindset is a cycle of creating and giving. You create your focus. You create your health. You create your skills. You create your margin. And then, you give from that abundance. And here is the magic. The more you give, the more you receive. Not in a transactional way, but in a fundamental way. When you give your time, you find your life has more meaning. When you give your knowledge, you become known as an expert, and more opportunities and money flow to you. When you give your presence, you build relationships of profound depth and trust. When you give your money, you prove to your own subconscious mind over and over that you are a person of abundance. You destroy the last remnants of the scarcity mindset. Giving is not the end of the wealth-building journey. It is the engine that makes it sustainable. It is the why that fuels the how. It transforms minimalism from a sterile life of less into a rich, joyful, and meaningful life of enough. You have now fixed your relationship with your mind, your things, your time, your money, and your world. You are no longer a slave. You are no longer a consumer. You are no longer a hoarder. You are a builder. You are an investor. You are a fountain. There is only one thing left to do. We have defined the new you. Now, how do we live this new life, day after day, not as a short-term project, but as a lifelong practice? It is time for our final chapter. It is time to define the ultimate minimalist goal, being better than yesterday. Chapter 10. The final definition of wealth. Better than yesterday. We are here. We have traveled a long, transformative road together. We began this journey as prisoners, as high-income slaves, trapped in a cage we built ourselves. A cage of more, a cage of color, a cage of distraction, debt, and desperation. Look at where you are standing now. We looked at the chains, and we named them. We diagnosed the disease, the poor mindset, that internal voice of scarcity, distraction, and fear. We redefined the cure. We threw away the world's definition of success, and we forged our own. We declared that true wealth is not a number. We declared that true wealth is a trinity. It is time. It is mental peace. It is physical health. We forged our weapon. We created our one true goal, our minimalist focus, the sharp, clean tool to cut through the noise of the world. We faced the external enemy, the rich façade. We saw it for what it was, a heavy, expensive costume. We found the courage to liquidate it, to trade the color that impressed others for the nitrogen that fueled us. We became investors in our own lives. We invested in our skills, our health, and our peace. We reclaimed our most precious asset. We became time-rich by learning the sacred, powerful word, no. We fired the time vampires. We built a fence around our time and chose what to grow. We took mastery over our money. We played defense, stopping the chaotic outflow. We played offense, growing our inflow by growing our value. We created the margin, the tangible, beautiful space of our freedom. And finally, we found our why. We discovered the philosophy of giving back. We smashed the final trap of scarcity. We learned that the ultimate expression of wealth is not hoarding, but circulating. We stopped being black holes. We became fountains. You are no longer a slave. You are no longer a consumer. You are no longer a hoarder. You are a builder. You are an investor. You are a fountain. And so, the journey is complete. The revolution is over. What happens now? What happens when you close this audiobook? What happens tomorrow morning when the world rushes back in? The world has not changed. The advertisements are still there. The social media feed is still scrolling. The poor mindset is still waiting, quietly, in the back of your mind, for a moment of weakness. It is waiting for you to be tired, or stressed, or afraid. How do you make this transformation last? How do you turn this short-term project into a lifelong practice? You do it by adopting one final, ultimate, minimalist goal. This is the goal that replaces all other goals. This is the operating system for your new life. This concept, this final guiding star, was mentioned in the original video that inspired this entire book. It is the simplest, most profound definition of success I have ever heard. Your final goal is this: be better than yesterday. That is it. That is the secret. That is the entire practice in 4 words. Let us look at why this simple phrase is the key to everything. First, be better than yesterday is the ultimate minimalist goal. It is a one true goal. It is not, I need to earn $1 million, and I need to lose 20 pounds, and I need to learn 3 languages. It is not a scattered list of outcomes that pulls your mind in 10 different directions. It is one simple, daily process. It gives you a single, clean metric for success. Second, be better than yesterday is the ultimate personal goal. Who is your competition? It is not your neighbor. It is not your boss. It is not the influencer on your screen. Your competition is you. Only you, the you from 24 hours ago. This one idea, when you truly embrace it, will set you free forever. It is the final destruction of the rich façade. It permanently kills the color of external validation. When your only goal is to be better than you were, what other people are doing becomes irrelevant. Their new car does not matter. Their promotion does not matter. Their vacation does not matter. All that matters is your own personal, private, joyful progress. You are no longer playing their game. You are playing your game, and it is a game you can win every single day. Third, be better than yesterday is the ultimate holistic goal. That word, better, is beautifully undefined. It is flexible. It applies to every pillar of our true wealth. You can ask yourself, at the end of the day, was I better with my physical health? Maybe better was not running a marathon. Maybe better was just going for a 10-minute walk instead of sitting on the couch. Maybe better was drinking one more glass of water. Was I better with my mental peace? Maybe better was meditating for 1 minute. Maybe better was not checking your email first thing in the morning. Maybe better was noticing your poor mindset trying to speak and calmly telling it no. Was I better with my time? Maybe better was reading 5 pages of a book instead of scrolling. Maybe better was learning one new thing. Maybe better was being fully present with your children for just 10 minutes. Was I better with my giving back? Maybe better was sending one positive text message to a friend. Maybe better was listening, truly listening, to your partner without interrupting. It is not about giant leaps. It is about 1%. It is about small, consistent, daily wins. The high-income slave tries to make a $1 million leap and fails. The minimalist wealth builder makes a $1 improvement every day and becomes wealthy for life. This is the sustainable path. So, this is your new practice. It is a simple 2-step process. Step 1. The morning intention. Every morning, before the day rushes in, you will take 60 seconds, 1 minute. You will ask yourself, how will I be better than yesterday? And you will set one simple, achievable intention, not 10. 1. Today, I will be better than yesterday by drinking more water. Today, I will be better than yesterday by reading 1 chapter of my book. Today, I will be better than yesterday by listening more than I speak. Step 2. The evening audit. Every evening, before you sleep, you will take 60 seconds, 1 minute. You will ask, was I better than yesterday? If the answer is yes, you will celebrate it. You will feel the quiet, profound victory. You will acknowledge your own progress. This is the reward. If the answer is no, you will not judge yourself. You will not feel guilt. The poor mindset uses guilt. The wealth mindset uses data. You will simply ask, why not? What got in the way? And you will use that data to set a better, smarter intention for tomorrow. That is the entire system. This is the secret to minimalist wealth. It is not an amount of money. It is not an aesthetic. It is a process. It is the daily, joyful, private practice of becoming. The wealth is not the destination. The wealth is the journey. The wealth is the peace of mind you feel right now, knowing that you are free, knowing that you are in control, knowing that you are no longer a slave to a definition of success that was poisoning you. You have your own definition now. You have your pillars: time, mental peace, physical health. You have your why: to build, to invest, to be a fountain, and you have your daily practice: be better than yesterday. You have done the work. You have the tools. You have the map. You have fixed your relationship with your mind, your things, your time, your money, and your world. You are no longer who you were when you started this audiobook. You are focused. You are light. You are present. You are free. The cage is open. The door is in front of you. Now go. Walk through it. And be better than you were yesterday. The final, tangible result of our journey. You came here seeking an answer to the problem of more money, and you found something infinitely more valuable. You found an answer to the problem of more life. You did not just learn a new way to manage your finances. You adopted a new way to see the world. You have shifted your entire identity. You are no longer defined by what you own. You are defined by what you do. You are defined by your focus, your growth, your freedom, and your generosity. You have escaped the trap. You have found the secret. The secret is that true wealth was never about having more. It was always about being more. So here is my final call to action for you. This is your first assignment in your new life. Do not just listen to this audiobook again. Live it. Today, right now, I want you to pick one thing. Not 10. 1. Pick one time vampire you will fire and send that text message. Pick one piece of color you will sell and post it online. Pick one new nitrogen skill you will learn and register for the course. Pick one person you will give back to and call them just to listen. Pick your one intention for tomorrow morning. How will I be better than yesterday? Do not wait. The poor mindset loves tomorrow. Your new life begins today. It begins with one small, simple, focused action. You have the map. You have the tools. You are free. Thank you for trusting me with your time. Thank you for doing this work. Now, go build your life.